Okay, I am back. I apologize for that bizarre break, but I had a very important work thing to deal with, and it was unscheduled, and it happened at precisely that moment. Again, perhaps a sign of that Saturn Sun opposition starting. Just to give you an idea of how that can be and how you receive it, because the reality is I was cranky as hell going up to my work and dealing with people, and the reality is that I had to snap myself out of that because it's just part of the process and it's nobody's individual responsibility. It's a collective clusterfuck of energies in order to force us to break free and move beyond the fog, as you can see, I'm clearly no longer in such a fog because I've had to do so many different things. Anyway, just getting right back into this because I don't want to take up too much of your time to finish out these energies. So we were talking about that Six of Cups and what it represents in relation to the Hanged Man. Um, it's an inner peace, the Six of Cups, in so many ways. It's also integrating our past, our sense of childlike wonder and awe back into our adult, spiritually realized embodiment. And so this is a week of not so much, I mean, yes, the hangman is a period of voluntary contemplation and observation and integration, but we're at the integration phase of this. You've done the observation. You know how to take the temperature in your life. And at this point, it's reminding yourself quicker, so that it's an immediate process back into where you need to be on your journey. And how we get there and the development over the course of this week, very interestingly, is the Justice card. Um, Clarified by the Two of Swords. Now, because the Justice card is a resolution card, it's a epiphany card, it is a rebirth card, it is a spiritual balance, um, a move beyond duality. Because, the duality is when the scale is not balanced. What drives the imbalance in our lives is this energy of the Two of Swords, the indecision. It's the lack of commitment. It's when we cannot commit to a perspective or a feeling or an outcome that we want to see. So the focus here is on figuring out, with all this energy of surrendering to the flow and surrender now and celebrate life. It's about, can you accept the circumstances of your life in a way that is integral to your shift, getting out of your own way on every level. Like at this point, that should come to you very, very quickly when you're in a position of questioning that. You should very, very quickly be getting to, I shouldn't use the word should. It's not a directive and it's not a punitive process. It's a self-realization process. So it's about getting to the place where you understand that you're better off in the integration energy. Understand what I mean? So yeah, so look at the baby. It's very, very cute. Just he needs some love. Um, so I think that pretty much gives us an idea of what to expect in the coming week. I'm going to read our outcome card, our general energy outcome from the Osho Zen Tarot. to close out on this, and we got completion, which is the world card. So again, oh look, there's my eyes are matching it, well, in a weird way. How would I do that? Oh yeah, like that. Hey, weird, right? Um, so let's read completion. The world, of course, is the completion of a karmic cycle. It usually also means letting go of a lot of baggage that has gotten in our way. It's like we've been on this earthly journey. We've been on this karmic cycle of journeys for, God knows how many cycles. So whatever stage you're at on your journey, that's like going to be your completion of this now. So let's read about that and see what that has to tell us. Here we go. Here, the last piece of a jigsaw puzzle is being put into its place, the position of the third eye, the place of inner perception. In the ever-changing flow of life, there are moments in which we come to a point of completion. In these moments, we are able to perceive the whole picture, the composite of all the small pieces that have occupied our attention for so long. In the finishing, we can either be in despair because we don't want the situation to come to an end, or we can be grateful and accepting of the fact that life is full of endings and new beginnings. Whatever has been absorbing your time and energy is now coming to an end. In completing it, you will be clearing the space for something new to begin. Use this interval to celebrate both the end of the old and the coming of the new, which is exactly what that Justice card represents. And moving beyond the Two of Swords, this would be being in the state where we're afraid of letting go, and so we hold on to indecision. We hold on to the poverty consciousness that we have. We haven't talked about poverty consciousness in a while because I don't think it's been like our reality. But sometimes these things are so learned, they're so integrated into our experience that we tend to only be able to see, when push comes to shove, things through that prism, right? So we are moving beyond that, and subsequently, the completion, third eye, intuition, being able to basically see the obstacle before it becomes a problem, and being able to transcend it and find a spiritual, universal driven energy to circumvent, to move through smoothly without resistance, whatever it may be. Enzo, what are you doing? Goodness gracious. This is the way of Zen, not to say things to their completion. This has to be understood. It's very important, this methodology. Where was I? Oh, no. I don't know, it's very important, this methodology, so remember that. Not to say everything means to give an opportunity to the listener to complete it. All answers are incomplete. The master has only given you a direction. By the time you reach the limit, you will know what is going to remain. And I think that's important. It's, again, at the moment of understanding that we're coming to an ending. That does not, and that's how people get like tripped up, is that they see the ending, but they don't know where the next destination is. Well, that's part of the divine design of life, right? Is that you don't get to know where you're headed next, but you have to have faith that you have created the empty space to allow new things in, emptying out the things that were in your way. It's just the beginning of something new when you complete something. It's not like, oh, I'm in the completion of the next thing. This way, if somebody is trying to understand Zen intellectually, he will fail. It is not an answer to the question, but something more than the answer. It is indicating the very reality. The Buddha nature is not something far away. Your very consciousness is Buddha nature, and your consciousness can witness these things which constitute the world. The world will end, but the mirror will remain, mirroring nothing. Big picture things there, right? Isn't that right, baby? I know. So I think that's all I have to say on all of that. I think you need to do the rest of the work yourself, and I need to do the rest of the work myself because I need to think about all of that. Is there anything else that we need clarity on? No, I think it all winds itself into the next, I should say, spiral up. So I wish you a amazing week to come, as does Enzo, and I love you guys, and I really, really hope that you manage this integration with grace, self-honor, self-love, and that you understand how fucking amazing you are, and that if you put yourself out there in the essence of your true self, your authentic being, and you express yourself with love, even where there's a frustration, you know, um, the problems will just diminish of their own accord at this point on the journey. Okay, so remember that the answer does always lie within, and that's a difficult truth to face sometimes, because it's easier to place it on the, you know, people around us, the circumstances around us. But what you hold on to, if it's an obstacle, that is you putting that obstacle in your own way at this point, you know? So, yeah, peace out. Namaste. Have a great week.